Okay, so we are given an inequality and we need to know which of our given solutions makes the inequality true. So we're going to solve it and then we will decide which of these following solutions makes it true. So the first one, we have 5y plus 3 is greater than 13. So the first thing you're going to do is subtract 3 from both sides. And bring everything down, and you get 5y is greater than 10. Then you need to isolate the variable, so you need to get y by itself, and in order to do that, you divide by 5. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. So I get y is greater than 2. Okay, so say we solve, we get our inequality, we're happy. Now we have to figure out which of our 3 solutions makes our value y true. So if I plug in, so this is what we got, is y is greater than 2. So if I plug each of these in for my y value, I want to know which one's going to make it true. So I have 2 is greater than 2. Think about that statement. Is 2 greater than 2? No, it is not. They are equal. If this was greater than or equal to, this solution would be correct. But since it is just greater than, 2 is not larger than 2. So this solution is not correct. So then we move to the next one, and we plug in 5 for our y value. So we have 5 greater than 2. Okay, is 5 greater than 2? Yes, 5 is larger than 2. So 5 could be a possible solution in our inequality. And then our last one, we have negative 2. So we plug negative 2 in for our y value. Is negative 2 larger than 2? No, it is not. So this cannot be our answer. So the only correct solution for our original inequality of 5y plus 3 greater than 13 would be 5. Now, 5 would not be the only solution. So when we graph our inequalities, you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Then you have your negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and so on. So if we graphed our inequality of y is greater than 2, we would have an open circle on 2 because it's not included in our number set, which we established up here because 2 is not greater than 2. So now we need to look if we would graph it left or if we would graph it right. So if y is greater, we always graph it right. So then if we look at all of these values to the right of 2, any of these are possible solutions. 3 is greater than 2, 4 is greater than 2, 5 is greater than 2, and so on. So any of the numbers to the right of 2 would be possible solutions. And 2 and negative 2 are not to the right of 2, therefore they are not correct solutions. So let's look at our second example. All right, in our second example, we need to solve our inequality, and then these are the solutions that they give us, and we need to see which ones are true and which ones are not true. So first we're going to start by adding 3 to both sides. And you get 4x is greater than 2, is not greater than 2, it is greater than 5. We'll just start over. So we have 4x is greater than 5. So then we need to isolate x and get it by itself, so we are going to divide by 4. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. So I have x is greater than 5 over 4, and I'm just going to leave it in this fraction form for now. We all know that 5 over 4 is equal to 1.25. All right, so let's look at our solutions. So we need it to be where x is less than 5 over 4 or 1.25. So let's plug each of these in and see which one makes our inequality true. So if I plug 5 over 4 in for x, is 5 over 4 less than 5 over 4? No, they are equal, but they are not less than one another. So my 5 over 4 is not a possible solution. So then we look at negative 1. Is negative 1 less than 5 over 4? Yes, it is. So we know that this can be a possible solution. And then finally we have 2. Is 2 less than 5 over 4 or our 1.25? No, 2 is greater than, but it is not less than. So this cannot be a solution. So our possible solution, the only one we have, is negative 1. Now, again, referring to our graph. So we're going to graph it. We're going to draw our line. So let's do 0, 1. Okay, and since it is less than, it's going to be an open circle over 1.25. And then since our correct solution was negative 1, anytime it is less than, it goes to the left. So we're going to move our line to the left. So that means that any solution to the left of 1.25 or 5/4 on our number line is going to be a possible solution. So since negative 1 is to the left, that means it is a possible solution. Where if you look, 2 is to the right, so it is not a possible solution. And that's how you determine the solution for inequalities.